I finally did something today that I never thought I'd do. I went ahead and I invested pretty heavily into Meta platforms, Facebook. Why did I do that? Well, I thought about the past year. Facebook is down over 70%. They just came out with a quarterly earnings report and it wasn't anything great, but it wasn't terrible. And the amount of users they have is still growing. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, it's huge. And they're building out the metaverse. Their current PE value is 8.88. For an innovative tech company, that's a ridiculous PE. For example, Square during the pandemic had a PE of over 700. Tesla had a PE that was well over 1,000. The PE of Facebook is currently 8.88. There's a couple of things that are happening here that I don't think people are talking about. The first of which is Mark Zuckerberg just isn't a likable figure. He is not someone that people want to get behind and champion and root for his success. He's at the point where he won the game and people would like to tear him down. He's also one of these people that came out dressed as Steve Jobs and gave this presentation that he's basically now the god of the metaverse and we're all gonna live in it. Now it's a couple of years away or a decade away, but Facebook has went all in. They are betting huge on the metaverse. If you take a look at the past videos I made about Facebook and the metaverse, I suggested that this might happen, that they might be so distracted with investing in the metaverse that they're not actually looking out at what the competition is doing, and all their resources aren't just going into the algorithm and the AI of Instagram and Facebook platforms and seeing how they can diversify their revenue streams. And that's why TikTok is having an easy time eating their lunch right now. However, the price point that Facebook is selling at now, you're pretty much getting the metaverse for free. Think about that. 8.88 PE value. This is still a profitable company. Nobody's saying that within 5 years, 10 years time, Facebook will cease to exist or they will be posting massive losses. No one thinks that. They're just frustrated that the head of the company, Mark Zuckerberg, refuses to listen to the wishes of the shareholders and spends billions upon billions of dollars building out the metaverse. A huge question mark. However, ask yourself, with the way that technology is progressing and advancing and infiltrating every aspect of our lives, are we going to be using more of it or less of it in the future? Obviously, we're going to be using more of it. And even if the metaverse is not what Mark Zuckerberg thinks it's going to be, it's still going to be integrated in some facet, whether it's education, whether it's entertainment and concerts, whether it's e-meetings like we're doing Zoom now, but we'll be doing it virtually, sitting down in a conference room where we could see one another and interact. Some of the actions that Facebook is taking with going and building out the metaverse, that is still going to be monetized and probably monetized really, really well. So really curious on what your thoughts are, but let's dive in and take a look at the numbers a little bit. And let me know in the comment section as you're watching this, am I stupid for investing in the metaverse? You think it's going to go to $60, $50? Or do you think right now when everyone is saying that Meta, it's going to keep going down, even Jim Cramer's like, oh, Meta's done, they're investing in the wrong places, this and that. I feel that that's the perfect time to go ahead, park some money that you don't need in the short term and just wait it out. Just wait it out, do your research, understand why you're invested. Me personally, I took a position in Meta. I will probably build on that position if the stock goes down in value in the near future. And also, I might buy some options contracts on it as well. Speaking of options contracts, I know I've littered my channel with a lot of options contract tutorials. I've actually driven my subscriber base and viewership into the ground with them, but I absolutely love options. I have some amazing content for you guys coming up. So let me know in the comment section as well if you want me to cover any type of of options trading strategies. Let's dive in and take a look what Facebook stock has been doing as of late. So if we zoom out here, we'll see that Facebook stock has actually had a really interesting journey. And take a look here. If you bought it in 2012, you could have had it for $20. However, if we take a look at the past 5 years, about 5 years ago it was trading at $180. And then when the pandemic happened and it sunk really low to around $145, exploded from there. There was a high around September 2021 of like $380. And what has it done since? It's done nothing but crap the bed all the way down to $93 today. Look at how much percentage points it's down in the last year. 72%. This is insane for a behemoth of a company like Facebook and Meta. The market cap is $247 billion. But look at the PE ratio, just 8.88. And this is a funny number. I know 666 is unlucky in many cultures. 777 is lucky. What the heck is 888? I guess we'll find out in just a few short weeks to a few short months. But this is looking delicious from a value perspective. However, remember, there is something called a value trap. And if you take a look at the numbers, which we will in a second, you'll see that Meta, a lot of people believe, might be a value trap. However, I think there's something else happening here. I think that people are really, really unhappy with Mark Zuckerberg and his absolute insane obsession over the metaverse. He wants to create it. He wants to be the Jesus of the metaverse, and he wants everybody to just live life in goggles. And if you take a look when he came out with different videos, I uploaded it to my channel. I'm not a huge fan of the metaverse, and I don't really think it's going to be a viable solution as far as what they are aiming for it to be. However, I do think that metaverse and that type of technology is going to exist, especially in the world of virtual meetings, virtual concerts. I think that's all possible, but I don't think it's going to be what Mark Zuckerberg thinks it's going to be. If you take a look at the recent news articles, they're all just bashing the CEO, Mark Zuckerberg. Over here from the New York Post, you see Meta shareholders rage at tone-deaf Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse push. Yahoo Finance, bulls on Meta stock have one big problem: Mark Zuckerberg. The way that Facebook is structured, Mark Zuckerberg has all the control, and he really does not care what shareholders are saying. He is all in, and I think this obsession is going to continue to cripple Facebook as a company. However, Meta being priced so low, it's looking actually really appetizing. And I believe this week I'm going to, for the first time in my life, take a position in Meta stock. Now, if you take a look here, it's a disaster on the year-over-year change. So the revenue is down almost 5%, operating expense up 25%, net income down over 50%, net profit margin down 50%, earnings per share down 50%. These are numbers you certainly don't want to see, and that is the reason that the stock is plummeting. Look at this. Over the past 5 days, it went from a valuation of about $135 per share to just under $93.20. That's a crazy drop. Why is this happening? Because shareholders are unhappy. And yes, although Mark Zuckerberg has full control over what Facebook does, the shareholders have full control over what the stock price does. And so they are taking it and they are plummeting it into the ground. And so, like I said, even though the future might look slightly bleak, I do believe that what Facebook is doing, the price it's at now, it is way too appealing to go in and buy into Facebook when there's so many fears around it, yet the company is massively profitable. The company has a PE value of just 8.88 for an innovative tech company. That's an insane valuation, and it's just too appealing for me to pass up. So I will be buying Meta stock this week for sure. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Mark Zuckerberg has lost it and that he is not going to be able to turn Facebook around and people will just continue bailing ship and other competitors like TikTok are going to start eating even more of Facebook and Instagram's lunch? Or do you think this is the worst quarter we've seen and from here on out it's going to start floating up, especially as the economy improves and companies start spending more with Facebook ads platform, and that will reflect positively on the bottom line and everyone will be rewarded handsomely. So let me know what you think. Let me know which topic you wish for me to cover next, and I will see you all in the next video.